Greetings everyone, I am Justus and welcome to my next episode in the playthrough of the visual novel Everlasting Summer. So, in the last episode, Elisa and I found ourselves on the road trying to walk to, I guess, wherever the drop-off center is for the kids from the camp because, well, we missed the bus with a little bit of hanky-panky. So, we had a little bit of a fight. Let's see if we can patch things up and let's see what happens and where we end up. The sun was slowly moving below the horizon. I was immersed in thoughts and even forgot about that heavy backpack on my back. I had to say something. Do something. Elisa is expecting me to. At least a few words. But what should I begin with? I'd gotten used to everything in my life being quite simple. Any task seemed to be already finished after only a few steps. Instead of considering the long way to my goal, I immediately started to think about the results, enjoying an unachieved victory. Moreover, I doubt I'd have to face a situation like this in the real world. Obviously, for a long time, I dreamed about a person who could care about me. But right now, such person is in front of me, and yet I feel nothing. And I can't tell Elisa either yes or no, just because I don't know what will happen next. Meanwhile, it got dark. I guess we should make a camp for the night. There's not that much left to go. Are you sure? And even if that's so, it's better to travel during the daytime. You know best, she answered coldly. We stopped at the edge of a wood. Got anything useful in here? I pointed at the backpack. Have a look. Mainly footwear and clothes were there, but on the bottom I found a magazine and a box of matches. Quite enough to light a fire. Soon we were sitting on a fallen tree and warming our hands by the fire. Only now did I finally realize that I'd finally gotten out of that damned camp. I'd found no answers. On the contrary, everything had become even more tangled, as I guess I am to spend the rest of my life in this reality. If I don't take into consideration all the sci-fi stuff, it's clear that I'm somewhere in the South at the end of the 80s. How and, more importantly, why I was brought here is not so important now, as I have to somehow adapt. And I ought to begin with the girl sitting by my side. So, what will we do when we reach the district center? Call our parents. What else? Elisa smiled slightly. She had someone to call. And then? And then it's all over. Meaning? Well, we'll leave for our homes. I wasn't really surprised by this answer. I just hadn't thought about what would happen after the term ended. And that's it? What else is there? I don't know. After all that happened? But nothing happened at all, she told me merrily. What do you mean nothing happened? You'll have a chance to find Lena. I was surprised, but Elisa said it absolutely kindly, as if I needed Lena. I wouldn't be so sure. And I am sure. Let me decide for myself. Yes? When did you start to do such silly things? I suddenly remembered my current age. 17 years ago. Well, admirable. But to be honest, I didn't notice anything like that. What exactly should you have noticed? That you were able to say something without a single doubt. She was absolutely right on this point. And what exactly you want to hear? You know what. This game of hints could last forever. If you want to know how I feel towards you, then I'll speak frankly. I don't know myself. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Elisa turned away. What can I do? That's the truth. And what can I do? I don't ask anything of you. Yes? Are you sure? Sure. I answered after a while. And what were you doing all 7 days in the camp? What was I doing? You were asking, weren't you? What was I asking for? For what reason? Can't you talk in a way that people can understand? The mind readers are on vacation. If you wanted to, you would understand. I can't understand without an explanation. It's okay. It's just idle talk. She stood up and went towards the road. No way! I lost my temper completely, so I jumped up, ran up to her in a couple of strides, grabbed her hand, and pulled her towards me. But I had miscalculated the amount of strength I should use, and we fell to the ground with Elisa lying beneath me. What, yesterday wasn't enough? Want more? Her face was glowing, and her eyes were flashing. I felt really mixed up. I released the girl's hand, but didn't stand up at once. I just want to understand, where did I go wrong? Why are you always thinking that you went wrong somewhere? Because you think so. Who told you that? I didn't. But I can see it. You see everything, don't you? You see and draw conclusions that you shouldn't interfere, that you should lie low, say anything. I draw conclusions based on logic. Are you sure that logic of yours is correct? I don't know what to say about that. For some time, we just lay there. I was completely confused, and it seems that Elisa didn't want to continue our conversation. Finally, she pushed me away and stood up. Why are you here now, with me? Because everyone left the camp, and we stayed. I'm not talking about that. Well, because I like you. Finally, I dared to say it directly. Are you sure? And what about Lena? She was always next to you. Maybe she's too much work. And what about me? I'm very simple. Just snap your fingers and I'm in your bed. I wouldn't say it's that simple with her. Don't put words in my mouth. You say nothing, so there's plenty of room there. But you think for a dozen others. Well, she was absolutely right on that point. I didn't think anything like that. So, do I have to just simply believe all of this? You don't have to believe. I'm not forcing you. But it's the truth, so I am not going to make anything up. Words should be proven with actions. What action is she expecting from me? Well, we could do it again. Dude! Gah! No! I said with a stupid smile. I had no idea how I even dared to think of joking in such a situation, especially a joke like that. Sure, come on, Elisa said in a calm voice, walked to the fire, and started to undress. I jumped up, ran to her, and grabbed her arm. What are you doing? Wait, I didn't mean that. Well, what's the big deal? Don't you need me just for that? Of course not. You got me all wrong. How should I get you then? She pulled her arm free and started crying. I lay down beside her, hugged her, and started patting her head. Everything is all right. Calm down. Leave me alone, she said through the tears, but didn't try to free herself. You see, I had a hard life before this camp. I just haven't gotten used to this. I don't know how to act in situations like this. I've been alone for a long time, no friends, no loved ones. I've just forgotten how to feel and how to love. It's hard for me. It's so much easier not to get mixed up in those matters. Finally, it became just normal not to. And here we are. Something I never could have imagined. It doesn't mean that I'm an egotistical bastard, although I guess it seems that maybe I am. I just can't do that right away. Elisa didn't reply and continued crying. But I know one thing for sure. There's nothing between me and Lena. She's a friend, nothing more. I never looked at her that way. And I need you, not only for what you think I want. I just don't know how to tell you the things you want to hear, they'd carry obligations. You see, I'm in the kind of situation now where I even don't know what will happen to me in the next hour. And here, Elisa seemed to not be listening to me at all, or my excuses just didn't reach her. While I should be proud of myself, I made a girl cry. And which girl? Elisa, who at first glance seemed to be a complete stranger to any romantic feelings. You know, I can't make this decision for both of us. I can only say for myself that I am ready to be with you, to support you, to protect you. But you, why do you need me? I have nothing in my soul. I don't know what I want from this life. Besides, I'm here now, but tomorrow I might be gone. Elisa stopped crying for a moment. Don't you understand that I already made that decision a long time ago? Then she looked up at me with teary eyes. I might have seen happiness in them for a moment. Elisa embraced me and tenderly kissed me. It was the best kiss of my entire life. No, it wasn't as passionate as the one last night, but there was so much tenderness, trust, and love that I just dissolved in her lips, in her arms. I forgot about everything, about the camp, about my past and the doubts which were tormenting me a moment before. She was all that I need, now, and forever. This kiss might have lasted forever, but suddenly a horn sounded nearby, as if from inside my brain. I turned to the road and saw a bus, an old Liaz. It looked like a regular one. We just lay and looked at it for some time. Soon, the driver left the bus and shouted at us, "Hey, lovebirds, this is the last bus to town. Are you coming?" "Shall we go?" Elisa said merrily. We jumped up. I grabbed the backpack, took Elisa by the hand, and ran to the bus. In a couple of seconds, we made ourselves comfortable on the back seat. The driver was shouting something from his place, but I didn't listen to him. Here it is, a rescue ship, heading for a new life. I looked at Elisa. I was so eager to say something, to continue the conversation by the fire. She was sleeping peacefully, resting her head on my shoulder. I didn't wake her up. There was no need. We had so much time ahead of us. There was no one in the bus except us. The bus was going fast, leaving behind not only my previous life, but also the week I had spent in the pioneer camp called Sovionok. I went through more during these 7 days than I had throughout all the years of my real life, and how much was still lying ahead in the future. The common country scenery in the window didn't interest me much. I was just watching Elisa peacefully sleeping. My heart was filled with warmth and calmness, and my head finally stopped bursting with thoughts. But happiness is a fragile matter. Many things can destroy it. Time, for example. The longer your happiness lasts, the more common it becomes. Emotions dull, new problems and worries appear. I felt good, but the accumulated exhaustion didn't let me to enjoy the moment. I fell asleep. And that's where we're going to finish the video for today. So we're on another bus finally, and well, where's this bus going to take us? Am I going to be going back to my old life? Am I going to be stuck in this strange new world with Elisa or who knows who else for the rest of my life? I guess we'll see how this all turns out. I think probably this is near the end of the game. So we'll see how my playthrough ends in the next video of Everlasting Summer. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss it. I hope you enjoyed this one. If so, give it a thumbs up. I hope to see you in my next video. Until then, bye-bye for now.